Acquiring new real estate is the ultimate adventure in landlording, and we're proud to announce that we recently purchased a row of 6 townhouses in a small city in northern Ontario. The seller wanted $800,000 and we were more than happy to give him asking price. The buildings were great cash flowing machines and they put a lot of money in our pockets each month. We were able to finance this deal creatively, and the seller agreed to loan us the 20% down payment of $160,000. This is called a vendor take-back mortgage, or a VTB. On closing day, the seller received $640,000 from us, and each month he earns $666 in interest payments on the $160,000 loan. The interest-only payments he receives each month will amount to $40,000 over the next 5 years. And of course, at the end of this 5-year term, he'll be paid his $160,000 in full. We never have a problem paying loans off because the buildings we buy appreciate every year. When we have our buildings appraised after 3, 4, or 5 years, we simply take some of the equity out of the building and pay the seller. If the building hasn't appreciated enough over that time period, which has never ever happened by the way, we would simply use some of our corporate savings to pay the seller. At the end of the 5-year term on this particular deal, the seller will have been paid $840,000 for total for his property, which is $40,000 over the asking price. And the icing on the cake for this lender is the money he will save in capital gains taxes. On a deal of this size, it's very advantageous to spread the earnings from the sale of the property over a few years instead of declaring it all at once. The seller in this situation will ultimately save around $30,000 in capital gains tax because he's chosen to collect his money over a longer period of time rather than all at once. If you add this $30,000 in tax savings to the extra $40,000 that the seller receives in interest payments, the seller ultimately walks away with $70,000 more than he would have if he'd sold his building in a conventional way. Of course, everybody wants to make top dollar when they sell their property, but they also want to guarantee that the buyer will make his monthly payments and that the loan will be paid in full at the end of a 3, 4, or 5-year term. In order to make our sellers sleep better at night, we always back up our loans with collateral from our extensive portfolio. Every time we borrow money from a seller in the form of a vendor take-back mortgage, we always have our lawyers draw up a legal document. And these documents guarantee that the seller's money is insured against the equity in our buildings. If we, heaven forbid, ever defaulted on a loan payment, which we never do by the way, the seller would simply take his or her money from the equity in one of our buildings. This way the seller can rest assured that his or her money is 100% safe and guaranteed. We at Invest North have done many deals like this, and we've made many sellers happy using this vendor take-back, or VTB, method. Real estate transactions can be win-win situations, and we insist on this. This has been the secret to our success, and we will continue to use it whenever we find a suitable partner. Now, get out there and have your own adventure in property owning.